So DC has arguably the most powerful lineup of heroes in all of pop culture. You've got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, etc. All iconic, all legendary, and all timeless. And yet, when it comes to video games, DC just can't seem to catch a break anymore. I mean, what happened? Let's take a closer look and uncover the rise, the fall, and the future of DC in gaming. Now, to be fair, DC didn't start out weak in the video game space. I mean, back in the 90s and early 2000s, you had some solid entries. I mean, you had the adventures of Batman and Robin, Superman, Shadow of Apocalypse, and even the Justice League beat-em-up games from the PS2 era. Now, those games weren't perfect by any standard, but they had style, and as a kid, they were pretty fun, and they understood their source material. But let's be honest, most people didn't take superhero games seriously back then. They were usually cash-ins, kind of used to rush to coincide with a movie release or an animated series. But that all changed in 2009. Enter in Batman Arkham Asylum. Now, Rocksteady definitely changed the entire superhero gaming landscape. Before this, the only really good superhero games were by Spider-Man. But when Batman Arkham came around, it really took everything to a whole dynamic. I mean, this wasn't just a good superhero game, it was a great game, period. The atmospheric world design, the intuitive combat, top tier voice acting. I mean, come on now, they brought back Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, and in my opinion, at their peak in this franchise, and a script that felt like a true continuation of the animated series, but with a much more darker and intense context. Then came Arkham City, expanded the map and the mythos of Batman. Of course, after that was Arkham Origins, which a lot of people have a debate on whether it's part of the Arkham series. Personally, I love this game and think it serves as a pretty good solid entrance or origin to Batman. And then finally Arkham Knight, which had a little bit of problems, mainly doing with overuse of the Batmobile. Technical flaws aside, they went bigger and better than before, and the combat and action and story were all great. I mean, these games weren't just successes, they were proof that DC characters deserved and could have AAA treatment. We also have to give a shout out to NetherRealm's Injustice series. I mean, taking a huge creative swing. It's crazy to think that the whole Injustice concept is so popular, but all originated from that game. I mean, when you take a huge creative swing, they imagined a world where Superman became a tyrant and Batman led the resistance. It was bold, it was cinematic, and it gave players the power fantasy they craved, combined with a truly emotional story. And then Injustice 2 raised the bar again. I know a lot of people have their problems with that game, but there were more characters, better graphics, and in my opinion, a better combat system with deeper customization. But after that, pretty much radio silence from there. And that silence would soon become a pattern at DC. Because post Arkham Knight, DC's gaming division seemed to vanish into development limbo. I mean, there were those rumors of a Damian Wayne Batman game, which had me super hyped in the past. Now we know they'll probably never come to light. I mean, there was even a Superman open world project that was teased but never materialized. And then the Suicide Squad game was teased back in the 2010s. And we'll talk about that later, but at the time, there was nothing concrete. Games would get leaked, only to disappear, trailers would drop, and then years of silence. This wasn't just frustrating for fans, it was pretty damaging to the franchise. I mean, the fan base began to lose faith in Warner Brothers to begin with. So what's going on behind the scenes? Like I mentioned, a big problem that is WB Games. I mean, they own Rocksteady, they own WB Montreal, and they own NetherRealm. And under Warner Brothers Discovery, the focus has shifted heavily towards monetization, cross-media synergy, and unfortunately, some live service models. Why do people make live service in games? It never works out. But rather than green-lighting original single-player driven titles, studios are pushed into safe, trend-chasing decisions like loot systems, always online game modes, and grind mechanics. You know, the things fans always vocalize about how much we hate that studios keep pushing out there that are never successful. Yeah, those type of games. Those games feel half-finished or painfully corporate. But let's talk about two recent examples. Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So Gotham Knights is marketed as a gritty, character-driven co-op experience. And I was super hyped about this game. I remember when they announced it at the DC Fandom event, and I thought it was going to be a continuation of the Arkham franchise. They later gave us information that it was going to be its own thing, but Nightwing being my favorite hero, I was super pumped to finally play as Nightwing in his own story game. And let me just tell you, when I pre-ordered this game and actually played it, I lied to myself for the first few hours, like, yeah, this is a pretty good game. And then after that, I never played it again. Tried to come back and play it. didn't work. And it made me realize that, wow, this game is trash. I mean, at launch, it was repetitive, underpolished, and just flat. I mean, the combat was clunky, the story lacked urgency, and the RPG elements really just felt like padding added on to make the game seem better than what it was. But then I thought, you know what? Can't get any worse than this. Then came Suicide Squad. The game stuck in development for nearly a decade, which is never a good sign. And what do we get? An always online, live service looter shooter. The best type of games, you know? With a cast of characters that shoot purple glowing weak spots in the sky, and a Superman and Batman are brainwashed bosses that you can't even play as. Now, personally, I didn't think the story was as bad as people made it seem to be. It really sucks how they treated a lot of the characters. I know they later retconned it with all of those were clones of the original Justice League, but you can kind of tell they were just kind of like them taking initiative due to all the backlash that they got with the story and some of the things that happened. But overall, it wasn't exactly anything fans were hoping for. I mean, both games showed the same issue: flashy trailers, confused direction, but a lack of soul. And let's be real, DC is having an identity crisis in its video game storytelling. Are we going dark and serious like Arkham, or light and chaotic like the Suicide Squad, or heroic and mythic like the comics? I mean, DC doesn't really know, because right now it's none of the above. It's generic, it's over-designed, and it's lost. The games don't feel like stories anymore. They feel like reactions or trends. But let's compare that over to Marvel. I mean, Marvel's Spider-Man wasn't just a technical achievement, it was a game built with love. It respected the lore, it reimagined its characters, and it let players feel like Spider-Man. And as much flack as Marvel Spider-Man 2 gets, it's way better than any of the other games I mentioned previously. Then you have Guardians of the Galaxy, totally different tone, and even though it didn't really sell that well, it's actually a really good game, and it took a really strong narrative first approach with no live service bloat behind it. And then the recent Marvel Rivals online team shooter, I think it's safe to say Marvel's leading the pack right now when it comes to games. I mean, Marvel learned to trust your studios and let them create something special, while DC is still chasing what's popular instead of what fits the character. And then, because think about it, where is the Green Lantern Corps action game, or the Flash time loop story, or heck, even the Wonder Woman combat game? We'll talk about that though in a minute. I mean, instead we get safe bets like Batman sidekicks and the gun-toting villains live service game. I mean, this isn't a lack of IP, it's just a lack of courage. I mean, DC needs to take a page from studios like Insomniac, CD Projekt Red even, or even indie studios. Because what do those games do right? They have narrative depth, mechanics that reflect character themes, and no corporate fluff. I mean, just imagine an indie-style Constantine game that's haunted with crazy visuals, some heavy dialogue, and some spell casting mechanics that are tied to moral choices. I mean, it doesn't need to sell 10 million copies to be great, and you don't have to put that much money into it. Just care and commitment. So what's actually coming next for DC? Really? We don't know. I mean, we had a Wonder Woman game that was in development hell by Monolith, you know, the team behind Shadow of Mordor, which is a really great franchise that was meant to kind of bring back the Nemesis system that everyone loved. But of course, WB decided to shut down Monolith and scrap the game. We're still owning the licensing for the Nemesis system, so we'll probably never see that type of gameplay again, which sucks. And crazy enough, there's even talks of a new Superman game, but it's all rumors. I mean, besides that, the truth is we need more games, more variety, and more vision if we want to keep this franchise afloat. I mean, DC doesn't have to aim to create a shared universe in their games, just like they do with the comics or movies. They really just need to give us really solid games that can be its own thing. I mean, or they can even decide to build a franchise. That's fine as well. As long as there's actual direction and commitment, everything will work out just fine. But here's the bottom line though. DC Comics characters are too good to be getting these average games. I mean, we need studios that care, leadership that trusts, and a strategy that prioritizes creativity over these cash grabs. I mean, if Marvel can do it, I mean, DC can do it too, maybe even better. But it starts with recognizing where they've gone wrong and being bold enough to make a change. Now, if you like this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and drop a comment down below because I'm curious. Which DC hero do you think deserves their own video game? Besides that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.